Ripple effect, the XRP's new era. I went and got some information, more recent information regarding XRP because there's so many questions regarding XRP. Where are we moving in with this? Where is this project heading? Especially what has happened with all the news in the past few 2 or 3 years regarding this. So, first of all, the core mission, XRP's core mission, is revolutionizing cross-border payments. So first of all, what it does, XRP via the XRP ledger enables fast, and you're looking at 3 to 5 second cheap and scalable transactions, cross-border transfers. So there's some great info there. Why it matters, traditional systems like SWIFT are slow and costly. So XRP came and says, let's cut out the middleman, saving banks and businesses a lot of time and money. So that little SWIFT, it's always a nice comparison between SWIFT and what XRP speed can do. And then the highlight of this is RippleNet connects 300 plus financial institutions globally with billions in transactional volume processed into 2024 alone. So remember about a year ago, regulatory breakthrough, the SEC won key event. The SEC dropped its 1.3 billion lawsuit against Ripple in 2024, following a 2023 ruling that XRP isn't a security when sold on exchanges. And the impact of this was removed a major uncertainty, and this sparking a 280% surge in Q4 of 2024 and boosting investor confidence. And the takeaway from this is XRP now has a clear footing in the US and critical markets for crypto growth. Ecosystem expansions. Now, remember, there's a lot of expansions in the project and what it's planning, and this is beyond payments. If we look at the RLUSD stablecoin launched in 2024, pegged to the USD, it pairs with the XRP to stabilize payment flows and target 150 billion stablecoin market. And then we also have the CBDC partnerships, Ripple's working with 30 plus central banks to build digital currency in XRPL tech. And tokenization, the Metaco acquisition fuels efforts to tokenize real-world assets like real estate, tapping trillion-dollar markets. So that's interesting, getting into real estate things of what Marius also spoke about in the presentation. We are heading towards that. And market performance, boom and volatility. So recent run, XRP soared 600% from November 2024 to January 2025, peaking above a $3, driven by regulatory wins and crypto optimism. For instance, also Trump's pro-crypto stance that we've seen. And the current state, we're sitting at about $2, amidst the correction, with market cap growth outpacing Ethereum by 66% in 4 months. The context with this is volatility reflects profit taking and broader market shifts, but momentum remains very, very strong. So institutional momentum, ETF and adoptions, and more news on that as well. XRP ETF, Franklin Templeton filed for an XRP ETF in March 2025. If approved, it could unlock institutional investment, and big players are coming to the table. Partnerships with Santander, Standard Chartered, and Google Cloud for signal credibility. There's also that with that theta overlap. So future potential, Ripple aims to breach traditional finance and DeFi with XRP as the linchpin. Now, the challenges and risk, and with any cryptos, there is a bit of challenges and risk. Ripple controls centralized critique, and that's more like a critique point. Ripple controls 40% of XRP's 100 billion supply, raising decentralization concerns over more of a social media and what people are talking about. And then also adoption hurdles. Not all RippleNet partners are or using XRP. Regulatory hesitancy lingers in some regions. And market risks like whale sell-offs and crypto downturns. But remember, in comes the detonator. Can always help us spot whale action and give us early warnings if there's any whale movement going on in our charts as well as our trends that we're looking at. The big picture for XRP's role in financial future vision. The XRP is just a coin. This isn't just a coin. It's a tool to modernize global money movement from payments to tokenized economies. Why watch it? With regulatory clarity, new projects, and potential ETF approval, XRP poised for a breakout. So XRP is not chasing Bitcoin's crown. It's building a different throne. We must think about it this way. One for institutions and real world use. Also, a very, very interesting point that I saw recently is that, I don't know if anyone knows this, I see that not a lot of people are talking about this, but the banks in the US can now basically hold crypto on behalf of its customers. I don't know if anyone is aware of that. And they can legally hold stable coins too. So I don't know if anyone has seen this. And the funny thing about this also, no one's really talking about this. So I've seen it. I've seen it on socials. I've seen it people talking about this. I want to do a little bit more investigation into this, but that's very interesting what our banks are now allowing with cryptocurrency. They were always so against it, but they're now allowing this type of things with it. So analysis quickly. I want to just, Maurice, quickly jump into my own chart with XRP and just look at it. Do some analysis here, look at some levels, and also finally see what the detonator also is telling us here. You can see I already got Morris's levels of 7, 14, and 29 right there. First of all, I always like to look at this Ichimoku on the longer term. And remember, you're on 7-day time frame here. Now, according to Ichimoku, I always go here to the front more, and we see that massive spike we had in XRP starting from November 24 that we had there. Now, the thing is, remember 2 weeks ago, we looked at Ichimoku and we looked at balance. And we spoke a lot about balance and in nature and what goes up must come down, that type of thing. Now, Ichimoku is very, very much built on that type of platform from a Chinese gentleman called Osara, who developed this whole system. Now, the thing for Ichimoku that I look at on a longer term, we always look at the Tenkan and the Kijun. Now, the Kijun Tenkan is the reference and leading span, or the conversion and reference line. And we also got your Senko and Senko A and B, which is your leading span A and leading span B on your right-hand side. That is the cloud, or they call it the Kumo. Now, interesting thing about the Tenkan and Kijun and the lagging span A and B is what position or what direction it is pointing at. We always need to make sure that we know which direction is pointing at, and that tells us a lot. Now, for instance, what happened right here, these two lines, you can see the blue line and the red line. That's the Kijun and Tenkan. And you got your leading span here, the red one and the green one, and in between is this green Kumo, and at the bottom is the red one. Now, the direction it's pointing in is always a good telling point. It's always a good indication of what the market is pointing at and when it is running upwards. Why? Because these lines here run in together in harmony, basically in balance. When this happens, they run close to each other like that. That is balance. When they go apart, they're getting imbalance in them. So the thing of nature, the thing of trading, remember what we talked about balance? Balance must always return to its original. So it must come back. So at one point, these blue lines and red lines is going to converge again, which will give us balance again. And what Morris also showed us, even here on the lagging span B, and remember the lagging span B, this red line here underneath the cloud Gumo, that is a long-term perspective. And this is a long-term. Why? Because it is 52 days ahead. And yeah, we still learn a lot about Ichimoku, got some training courses for that, but we need to understand that we are on a sideways move now. It is showing that we're in a sideways move in a long-term term of things, but it does show us a lot. So another thing that I also look at, rules that I basically look at for this indicator, is does the trend find support on the Tenkan and Kijun? You can see the trend has found that. It hasn't fallen through yet. When it falls through the Kumo, then it's more of a bearish type of move incoming. But it's still keeping support right there. But falling below these two lines, falling below this cloud, will definitely be a more bearish type of move incoming or bearish momentum. But it's still keeping sideways and keeping support on those lines as well. So if the Tenkan Kijun and trend comes close to each other, it's also still in balance. So these two lines are very, very close together. It doesn't fall apart, doesn't go much up or down. It's still keeping very closely together, which is a good thing. What I also look at sometimes when we look at Ichimoku is here at the bottom. Just for example, what happened here before he had this massive spike here through the cloud there, is you can see this higher low that we had there. The bottom line, or this green, the lagging span A, when it's here at the bottom and it's like a red cloud, when it does this little rounding effect, that higher low, that also gives me a nice little indication of a trend line that I can put there, because you can see this great support that was found there, as well as Kumo twists. What happened in a Kumo twist is when they twist and go, the one go above the other again with these two lines. That also gives you a very, very nice type of support and resistance line, say for there. So I'll just enter that there. And that's it for Ichimoku. So I'll switch that off. I did some weekly levels. I also did some historical projection levels as well that I just draw here. I'm just going to put on the HPL levels as well. And I'm going to go in here, quickly look at what, now you can see these HPL levels, historical projection levels that is projected from the history. You can see Marius is well in place of what he has put on his report as well. You can see that falling in line. There's a couple of one more that I can put in here now, there now. So maybe there's one. There's also a good one that we can put in there. We can maybe use, it's just levels that I want to quickly put in. Then we can quickly look at the detonator also telling us, right, well, yeah, as well. So maybe you can see there's a lot of weekly levels here that falls in line with our HPL levels. At the bottom is also a good one. I'm just going to put it right there as well. So we'll switch off that HPL levels then, give us that nudge levels that we can look at up to 29% there, or $29. And also, if you look at trading patterns, I'm just going to do a trading or trend line right here. I love the trend lines, especially when we have this type of rejection move. Against that, it almost is a symmetrical, or it is a symmetrical triangle. If I just do this and get the trend up a bit, and maybe do extension from there. And remember, trend lines is always so many touches, makes it so much stronger. So definitely a symmetrical triangle that we can see here. Just pull that back up a bit. So you can even work it out like a symmetrical triangle. See where this will basically move in here till there's a breakout, or you can even put a channel there. The channel is also a good idea that you can do, making a type of a bull flag. The bull flag can also give you a nice idea of trend break off, that when that resistance is broken right there. So looking at this, quickly going to put on the detonator, seeing what the detonator A is showing us. You can see detonator A has on the 7-day red tag right there, the volume weighted average. Remember the volume weighted average, not Wally. Volume weighted average is here at the top. It has not done a reset. We've seen in a 3-day and a 12-hour and an 8-hour, also the 4-hour, that we had a volume weighted reset. So this one is not reset on 7 days yet. It will soon, a little bit to the front, and that's going to be an interesting part as well. But we're still a little bit underneath it, not far. And detonator B and C, then if I switch it on, we can quickly look there. And you can see with our trend lines that we have now, with these support and resistance lines that I drew here, as well as the Ichimoku levels at the bottom, or at the bottom that we have here, or where the trend currently is great, strong lines that we can use, Marius's lines as well as HPL levels that you can use there as well. And looking at the detonator, forming, or the trend going down in this channel, waiting for a breakout out of this resistance, keeping an eye on these levels. You can then look at the detonator, seeing a red dot is breaking down. It's still going to go downwards more for a trigger dot. So you can see it's still wide open on detonator C2. So there is, as we saw in Ichimoku 2, there's still a way to go. A little bit of a sideways downwards move, but soon there might be there will be a good turnaround, especially what I just showed in XRP and what's going on behind the XRP coin, and definitely a coin to watch, Mari. So basically that's all from me. Just wanted to show that from my side. Thank you.
Nico, that's fantastic. And while you just leave it there, that blue line, which is the VWAP, the volume weighted average,
yes,
is actually really interesting. Once we head above that, that's another indicator that people can use. Once we go above that, as you also mentioned a few times, yes, that will be really good. That's a fantastic presentation, man.
Oh, thank you. You can also see, especially what happened here. So I want everyone to notice when we're above the detonated DTMA, this green one, as well as the blue one, when the trend goes above it, we see spikes like this. So it makes it very easy to identify spike. Even if I go back in the past too, looking right here, I mean, this was when we had that start of the run of, it was January 2021. You can see even here what happened, and you have that spike running on top of that blue line. So definitely want to watch. We're very close. And like I said, we might be coming in for a reset on the 7-day now, the weekly. So yeah, alerts, good thing to have. And these levels, Maurice, that you also shown is spot on. Yeah, very, very excited.
So Nico, if you look at
mm,
this chart now with the indicator, the detonator indicator there,
yes.
would you buy this now or would you just wait?
I'll wait a little bit more, Maurice. You can
100%.
start laddering in, but for me, the detonator C must still. Here's my little drawing tool. Detonator C must still do a little cross or go close to a cross, as well as we need to find that trigger dot where it's going to be. Because remember, we're on a 7-day now, and this is very, very zoomed out. Remember, we had a very strong anchor dot already here, and this was in June 2022. And after that, there's a couple of trigger dots that formed that have some nice significant runs, as we can see if we go up to the trend here. So there was these times, especially when it's on top of the blue line, to give these nice little spikes, and we can take opportunities there, even in more medium term. But I mean, long-term trading, this is really easy to follow. There's nothing more easy to follow than this.
Now,
I haven't
if
come
you go and
across
move
anything.
it to, let's say 3-day,
No,
what does it look on the 3-day?
3-day, let's quickly check the
So remember,
3-day.
guys, we go from 7-day, 3-day, 1-day, 12 hours. Now look there. That's still
But a
not a buy.
3-day. 3 days not
Yeah.
a buy. VWAP did reset, like I said,
Yep.
but it's not close to where the trend. The trend is below it. We're not even close here to the curling. So I'll definitely wait for an X to see where it's going to get a green dot, red dot, and then the last green dot before it
100%.
starts going up. So yeah, we're also crossing down on detonator C right here. So definitely not a buy right now. No.
One day.
Let's quickly go 1 day. 1 day too. 1 day is forming very, very low anchor dots actually, or very low anchor or
There
trigger
you
dots.
go.
Detonator C, not even close to crossing. Won't look at that. And the detonator VWAP too. We are on a support there, right on that weekly level there.
Mhm.
But you can see if I zoom in, we are not close to climbing on the VWAP level. It keeps below it. It wants to spike up. But what you want to look, especially Amaris, and I'm going to show people too, you need to remember when it comes to this VWAP line or the blue line, is what will happen. You will see this type of thing. It will go over, find support, and then start moving up. It's not
100%.
just going to blast through. Like what happened here. You can see it went over, found support, and then started moving up. So that's what we
Great.
need to look for as well. So yeah, just patience.
Okay, wonderful. No, that's great. Nico, fantastic presentation. We are
Mhm.
going to cut this out and upload that for everybody to have a look. Share this with your friends and family, this video. I'm going to post that video in the Telegram channel. We're also going to post it on YouTube.